want to talk about the looming referendum. But before I talk about that, congratulations are in order to the Third Way Alliance. Congratulations, Uhuru Aukot, for achieving 1.2 million signatures, a feat that CORD under Raila Odinga, Moses Wetangula, and Kalonzo Musyoka were unable to do. We remember the days of the cows and the elephants instead of signatures. Therefore, congratulations to you for achieving this. Now, a referendum looks possible. But I want us to engage this and ask ourselves, will the Third Way Alliance marshal enough power, enough infrastructural power to mount a referendum? Does it have the resources? This then brings to question what some people have been talking about. Some have been whispering that indeed the Third Way Alliance did not have the wherewithal to have an organization, to have the capacity that will make them get the signatures they got. And therefore, there are people who are arguing there are forces behind the Third Way Alliance. What could these forces be? Could it be from the Ruto side? There are those who believe if this referendum were to be undertaken, not even go through, just to be undertaken, if we ended up with a plebiscite on this, if Kenyans were to vote in a referendum, then it will make it near impossible for any other group, BBI and the handshake included, to bring another referendum to Kenyans before the next election. And therefore, Ruto will have scored if the Third Way Alliance, Punguza Mzigo, was able to be taken to the people for a vote. There are also those who are arguing that, well, this Punguza Mzigo initiative will die before it sees even the county assemblies. The reason they advance is that there are many legal issues, including the manner of the signatures. When people are appending their signatures, were they really appending on the bill, on the issues, or you had page 1 talking about the referendum, and all other pages in their thousands, people were just signing without evidence of what they were signing for. Such a people give examples of a statement you write at the police that you sign on every page of that statement and not on page 1 or on the last page, because in between somebody could squeeze other material that is not in tandem with the statement you are signing. There are also those people who are arguing that would it be a referendum question 1, or will you bring an omnibus or of a raft of issues, as therefore there are going to be many legal challenges put in the way of Punguza Mzigo, because I am sure there are many enemies of Punguza Mzigo. The handshake has created many orphans. There are many people dangling in between the handshake and other things. These people would be happy to kill the Punguza Mzigo initiative so that they give a chance to the BBI, the handshake team, because the handshake referendum will then create positions to be filled by the many orphans of the handshake, by the many people who are dangling in between the handshake and perhaps Tanga-Tanga. And therefore you can see that this might be the reason why this Punguza Mzigo may not get to the vote, including a major one that I've mentioned, that if Punguza Mzigo were to be taken to the vote in a referendum, it will make it near impossible for another referendum from the handshake team to be brought to Kenyans. It may even be technically impossible. And therefore, there are many enemies of this. However, what would be the benefits of this Punguza Mzigo? There are many benefits. It reduces the cost of government. It reduces the bloated cabinet, the bloated parliament, where parliament has become like physically like a market, where even an MP has a problem in the National Assembly, even getting to be noticed to be able to make their contribution. The numbers are just outrageous. And this thing resonates with the people. Why would it also perhaps be attractive to Kenya? It does propose an increase to the devolved fund, the funds over which governors and senators on one hand are fighting with the National Assembly and Treasury over the allocation. That is almost bringing a government shutdown as we speak today. The same Punguza Mzigo brings issues of taking what is now CDF closer to the people by domiciling it at the ward level that's closer to the people. So there are a raft of many benefits in this Punguza Mzigo, but it will be difficult. Although cleverly, the Third Way Alliance, Uhuru court, has put in that bill, in that referendum, issues that need not necessarily be handled by the referendum. For example, you don't need a referendum to increase the CDF or to take it to the ward. In any case, we know is unconstitutional. You do not need a referendum to do a number of things that he has brought, but he's making it attractive. However, I want to give you the main reason and how it will fail. The main reason, I repeat, is because it will stand in the way of the handshake referendum. The handshake referendum proposes a major restructuring in governance and the structure of government in this country. The handshake referendum will bring many Kenyans on board in what they call an inclusive government as a way of handling the winner takes all. That's why this Punguza Mzigo will fail. And how will it fail? You could make the referendum, as indeed I've said, very attractive to the council, to the MCAs, so that when you take it to the county assemblies, on the face of it, it should fail. But the question I want to ask, and I hope Third Way is listening, will the counties in Nyanza, the former Nyanza province, will the counties vote? Will the Siaya MCAs vote and go against Baba? You have the answer. It is no. Will the MCAs in the counties in the Mount Kenya region vote yes when President Uhuru Kenyatta has made it clear they should not vote? The answer again is no. You go to Coast region, you find 001, the Sultan, together with the governor of Cliffy. I am sure a majority of the counties in Coast will not vote yes. And already you are past 24. That tells you Punguza Mzigo is dead on arrival. But there's another complication I want to say about this referendum. Whether the Punguza Mzigo referendum or the other referendum, and is the question of how a deputy president of a country will find himself on either the yes side when the president is on the no side in this Punguza Mzigo, or you flip it and the deputy president of the country is on the no side when the president is on the yes side if the handshake referendum is brought. This is food for thought. But finally, let me conclude by saying that Punguza Mzigo is dead on arrival.